Few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Ka'imi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Mayfield going to the air right away. It's caught by Mike Evans. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They go play action. Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Oregon. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 9 here. In motion right is Evans. Mayfield now. That is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 22.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 35, here's 2nd down and 7. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. And Mayfield just getting the play off. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And 3rd and 1 now. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
And he is going to have the Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing, Mayfield. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Henry To'oTo'o came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
This is caught by McMillan. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Mayfield. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Baker Mayfield. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Houston set to take over. Stroud. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And this will be a Texans first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Throwing now is Stroud. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Stroud looking to throw. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A handoff running left, Mixon, and he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Here now, 2nd and 4. Stroud to throw it. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He'll get the hook up there to Woods. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Stroud will look to throw once more. Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! Nico Collins from 13 yards out. And the Texans are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 41 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his leg.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here, we do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Mayfield looks to throw. There's Evans again, complete.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 4. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Here's Mayfield. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. Now Stroud. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Godwin, the motion man.
Mayfield to throw it.
He'll find McMillan here.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And the Texans will take over.
And now out comes Houston. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Stroud working out of the gun.
That's complete. It's Collins. So the completion good for 6 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. A shotgun snap to Stroud.
And I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now a give. Irving running right to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Once again, it's Irving.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Now Mayfield.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, 33 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
Here's Stroud. He'll complete this one to Collins.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Third and 3.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And some room to roam now.
And this will be a Texans 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Back to Mixon on first down.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Back to throw. Stroud.
Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Stroud out of the gun here.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Mixon with a first down carry.
And they're knocking on the door now, as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive.
Touchdown, Texans! Dalton Schultz, a 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans have cut it back within a score. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they'd love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Pushing his way through.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bucs ready to take over once again.
Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Will Anderson in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 23. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Short throw into the hands of Jordan. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here's a 3rd and 14. Motion man left is Kirk. On 3rd down, Mixon. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Mayfield. Going across the formation, there's Otten with it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing, Mayfield.
This is caught by McMillan.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw, Mayfield.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half, Stroud.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter.
So when's the best time to take the big shots downfield? When you think a defense least expects it, and I think the first play of the third quarter qualifies. They came right out firing. That's how you send a message to start the second half of a game.
Stroud to throw it. That's into the hands of Woods.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now 2nd and 5. Stroud looking to throw.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 7 yards there and a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here goes Stroud again.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
That's on Shaq Mason, the guard.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
This is caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
Mixon. Touchdown, Houston. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Well, now how about this return?
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 34. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Texans are going to have it here just past the 25. And Stroud now to throw.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
55 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now they'll change things up. Stroud will throw it.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 32-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 20-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Mixing up the middle. Shreds him with a stiff arm.
And the Texans are going to have him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll give it to Mixon. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Throwing now is Stroud.
To Mixon on the check down. Touchdown!
Joe Mixon.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Texans are able to widen their advantage. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
A run up the middle with Irving. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Irving.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield.
He'll find McMillan here.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Here's Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 19. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
And the Buccaneers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts.
They run out of the gun with Irving.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Mayfield now. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Buccaneers have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the fourth. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Houston set to take over. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the fourth quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Now Stroud.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Stroud working out of the gun.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 8.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Here's Stroud.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
Kalijah Cansey
In there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
A 3rd and long. You knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So out come the Bucs now.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line.
And from the shotgun, he'll throw.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he'll get this to the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. A shotgun handoff here to Irving.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They go play action. Mayfield. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Will Anderson.
Getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. A solid stiff arm.
111 yards rushing here for Mixon. He's got a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down. It's Mixon on the counter. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. Touchdown, Houston.
Joe Mixon.
42 yards.
And the Texans have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again.
And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line.
They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mayfield. Looking right sideline, that's complete. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Baker going to give it to Irving.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
Henry To'o there on the tackle.
Now, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Once again, it's Irving. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Mayfield looks to throw. He completes it to Evans. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the gun, Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And Godwin going to have a Bucs first down as he's down to the 11. Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A first carry for Rachaad White. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rachaad White taking it in from a yard out. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Second and 6 coming up. Stroud to throw it. He'll get this complete to Collins.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining.
Here's first down. Now Stroud. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Here's Stroud. Finding Schultz.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense.
Big play looming here. This is 3rd and 7 with a crowd on their feet. Stroud.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win. That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout.
So the Bucs going to have a chance to go down and win it. They'll get the ball first here in overtime. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The first throw in overtime for Mayfield now. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Mayfield to throw it.
Well, this one taken in by Otten.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To throw, Mayfield.
And there's a short one taken in by Otten.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's 2nd down.
Buying time to his left. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip off a game that big, and he did it with the defense giving him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Here's a handoff to Irvin.
And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
Mayfield on play action. And he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route.